Buenos días, Santos. Espero que tengan un excelente fin de semana. Soy Daniel.
Y yo soy Gali.
Y esto es
San Francis
High School. En noticias mundiales, después de que Hamas, un grupo de militares palestinos, invadió Israel en un ataque sorpresa el sábado, intentaron matar y capturar a personas. Israel tomó represalias y ahora ordena la evacuación de 1 millón de Gaza. La ONU dice que es posible según el Washington Post.
Y en esta semana corta, porque Education Minnesota tiene reuniones anuales que comienzan el jueves. También habrá un inicio tarde el miércoles.
En un artículo continuo sobre empleos en la empresa secundaria y empresas locales,
I've worked at Bill's for about a year and a half now. I worked at Now Then for a year, and I've worked at the new store for 3 months now. There's definitely a huge difference because I'm the only supervisor at this store, and it's a lot bigger than Now Then. So there's a lot to learn, but it has been very fun. My manager is the same manager I had at Now Then, and then I got to meet a ton of new people that work there, and that's been fun getting to know them. What kind of job opportunities do you offer for high schoolers?
We have lots of things here for high schoolers to do. So we have stocking from product being brought in into the shelves, and then we also have our registers for customers who are checking out the things that they're buying.
What do you like the most about the job? I love the community that we have. All of the stores that I've worked at have been a really big family. Like for Christmas last year, we had Secret Santa, and that ended up being really a lot of fun. We got a lot of people to participate and got some pretty interesting gifts. What does the typical workday look like?
It depends. It depends on a lot of things compared to other jobs. 1 is the weather, 2 is holidays, 3 is the season, if it's summer or winter, and then the other is the day of the week.
What would you say to someone considering applying?
I would say Bill's is definitely a really great entry-level job. It prepares you with a lot of things that you need to know for your future.
We're looking for nighttime and weekends for sure. You come in, you can give your preference if you would rather work at the cash register or stocking, but in the end, it's kind of all hands on deck.
Do you have any advice about working while in school?
I would say definitely work. Don't work yourself a whole ton. Don't work 40 hours a week. That can be really draining while you're in school, as well as it is also pretty important to have a job while you're in high school. It shows that you have commitments and that you can time manage while still being in high school.
Gracias por esa información. El primer paso para conseguir un trabajo es saber dónde buscar, hablando de nuevos empleos. Esta semana tenemos una función de maestros sobre uno de nuestros nuevos maestros en el Departamento de Estudios Sociales, Hyatt and Charlie. Hablaron con Ana Zembach sobre ser el nuevo niño del bloque.
What do you like about St. Francis?
I would have to say that so far St. Francis has just a super strong community that's very welcoming. I mean, just like the staff members, specifically social studies here, have been like super welcoming. They're not afraid to answer all of my questions being new here. And just there's lots of nice people. The students, even if I don't have them in class, they have been kind of coming up, introducing themselves and just making it a very welcoming environment. This is my first year ever teaching. I just graduated in the spring, but I did my student teaching over at St. Louis Park High School, along with Coon Rapids High School and Middle School. I came to St. Francis. Some people like to call it that I'm a St. Francis legacy. My dad graduated from here in 1983. And then I have a ton of uncles and aunts who went here, and I have some cousins who went here. So it was always kind of in the back of my head of coming to St. Francis and being involved in the sports here and everything going on in the community. So it was kind of the big drive of being a part of that and continuing the family legacy of going to St. Francis and now being a teacher there instead.
Bienvenida, señorita Zembach, a San Francis High School. En noticias del club, el club de ajedrez ya está abierto y listo para jugar. Kong y Carl hablaron con los organizadores.
So, yes. What brought your attention to chess club?
Actually, it was a couple of students that came to me last year and expressed interest in forming a club, and they were just looking for someone that essentially needed an adult sponsor, a teacher sponsor that would that would supervise and give them a place to play. That's simple.
Gotcha. And how's chess club done so far?
Well, last year we got started off and it went well enough. We had several kids that showed up routinely. Kids just showed up after school and it was pretty informal. We came out in the flex space, kids brought their chessboards, and we played for about an hour.
What's it like to play chess club?
So last year I actually had a blast with all my chess peers. It was really fun. We learned a bunch of new openings, and as a part of learning those openings, we got into a lot more competitive mindset playing chess.
So does it really get competitive throughout the year? Does it get more competitive, or?
So we had a lot of new recruits that have never played chess before, and towards the end of the chess club season, they actually started to play a lot better.
And then what's it like being a chess club captain?
So as the co-captain, I feel like my responsibility is to recruit. I like to go around lunchtime, whenever, just recruit, get some more players, whether they played or never played before.
This year we're hoping to expand it a little bit more. We want to get some money, get some chessboards, get some timers, and then just increase the participation. My move?
Yeah.
Mirando otras actividades escolares de San Francis, el departamento de teatro realizará un Haunted Trail a finales de octubre para una recaudación de fondos en el Donor Haunted Trail. Sal consiguió más información.
How long has your family been doing the Haunted Trail?
So we've been doing it since about 2013 when we moved here, and we originally did it for a food drive for like 4 or 5 years. Then COVID happened, we had a little hiatus for 2 years, and we came back and did it for the SFHS band for 1 year, and now we're on our 2nd year of doing it for the SFHS theater, so around a decade.
How did the idea originally come up for you guys to start the Haunted Trail?
We have a lot of acreage and a forest in our backyard, and there's just a general trail going about it. And my mom loves Halloween, so we thought might as well make something good out of it. We had a lot of family friends that wanted to do it, and it was a good way to just like help out in some ways for different charities.
What was your role in last year's Haunted Trail, and what was the overall experience like?
I was a scare actor. I played a butcher. It was really awesome to help set it up and seeing it all come together. You might not think that something run by mainly a bunch of teenagers will turn out very great, but everybody that I know that went to it said that it was actually scary and it was really cool.
What was your guys' role in last year's Halloween Haunted Trail?
I was a scare actor, so I got to scare young children. It was quite fun. I was in the tunnel portion of the trail, no spoilers, with my bestie Ella, and we had on cute little ghost masks, and we jumped out and we scared people, and I hid in a car at one point and honked a horn at people. It was great.
Is that your little...
I think I was a zombie cheerleader, and so I also ran after people and screamed at them.
What should people know about the Haunted Trail, and how can they contribute?
So the best way to contribute is just to come and walk the trail. It's a very fun experience. It's $5 per person. We also have a thing that if you don't want to be scared, like you're bringing little kids, you can be given a flashlight or a glow stick, and our actors will know not to scare you as much. And yeah, general donations as well if you want to pay extra. We have concessions, and it's just a really good time if you want to come join.
Eso parece divertido ahora. Pasemos a los deportes.
Hey Saints, I'm Big Tuck.
And I'm Tyler.
And this is Sports.
In school sports news, the Fighting Saints took on Irondale last Friday. The game ended with a score of 27-0, giving the Saints their first win of the season, bringing the Saints' record to 1-6, as they head into their senior night tomorrow, right here at home, to finish off their regular season play.
Continuing with sports, as volleyball wraps up their season, reporters Haley King-Steele spoke with the captains and a few players on how their season went.
So being a captain, I just do my best to show up every day and work as hard as I can so that the younger girls will want to work as hard as me when I'm not here anymore.
For me, I don't think it's much different than what I have done in the past. A lot of leadership, and I'm really glad I can be a good role model for everybody.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think it's super important just to be that good role model because
the younger athletes need someone to look up to. So it's nice being that role. And you gotta be strong, you gotta have a good mental game, and you just gotta be very positive about things.
How is it like being on varsity this year?
It was like a huge opportunity for me. It was really exciting and I really enjoyed it. Very scary as you kind of like are looking up to the older girls as you're one of the younger ones. So it's exciting though, so.
Yeah, it was exciting but nerve-wracking at first, but everyone was welcoming and it was fun to play with them.
Senior night was a lot of fun. It was a really great game, and I know all of us seniors had an awesome time playing, and it didn't turn out how we wanted, but no regrets.
It was really sad, I'm gonna be honest.
It was super sad.
We lost 5th set by 2 against Princeton. It was hard fought.
What have you enjoyed the most through the season?
Spending time with probably my best friends and just having a lot of fun.
Having the people that you never thought would be with you, but now they kind of are, and you just always have someone to go to when you need them.
I think just really being able to play with all of my best friends this season was so much fun.
With other seasons winding down, this weekend Dan's hosted a final home invitational show on Saturday with the other teams. They also resurrected the guy-girl dance.
As the boys' soccer season ended last week with a loss in sections, reporter Kong Zhang caught up with Elijah Stiles and Kevin Hoppert to reflect on their season.
I think your soccer season went this year.
Went all right. Our record doesn't show it, but we got a lot better. It was kind of a rebuild year. We should be way better next year.
And then how did your sections run go this year?
We only lost a game, then we were out.
What were your favorite parts of the season?
My favorite part of the season when I scored against Providence. They're a pretty good team. I scored against them.
Moving on to the girls' soccer season, Kong also spoke with Alexis Natzel and Peyton Pendergrass about their section win.
How does it feel to win a sections game?
It feels good. We get to keep the season rolling.
And then what do you guys do this week to prepare for a sections game that's different from a regular season game?
It's not much different. It's just definitely a lot more stress because we actually have to win to keep going.
Unfortunately, the girls lost their second section matchup with the nail-biter losing in an overtime shootout against Delano with the final score of 7-8.
In girls' tennis, although the team had its most successful season in decades, they lost in sections. But two players, Alexa Skoquist and Josie Lupinik, headed off to Virginia for individual finals.
We will have more next week on their accomplishments. That's all the sports we have for you this week, Saints. Now back to Maine.
Ahora, antes de irnos, es la pregunta aleatoria de esta semana. Jocelyn, Nola y Trinity salieron a buscar a las listas de deseos de la gente.
It's the random question thing. Ding.
What's at the top of your bucket list?
Traveling to Hawaii.
I think skydiving seems like a cool thing to do.
The goal at the top of my bucket list is to be a UFC champion and show the world that I'm the greatest.
I like to snowboard in Japan.
So at the top of my bucket list is going to Iceland, which I am planning on doing that actually next October.
Traveling to Greece.
Graduate high school.
¿Qué hay en tu lista de deseos?
Acabar la escuela con buenas notas y aprender excelente el inglés.
Bien, el mío es aprender inglés y mantener las notas al 100.
Bien, eso concluye el espectáculo de esta semana. Manténgase seguros, Saints.